Amazing in New York. How are you?
I'm
nice
good.
to see you.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
You've been busy, I know.
I have.
Are you going to get any downtime at some point?
I'm not really great with downtime.
You like to be busy.
I like being busy.
Yeah, well, it was fun, actually, looking back. We had so much fun the last time you were here. And one of the things we didn't show on that video was when Keiko punked J-Lo.
Right.
Let's take a look, and we'll remind people of what happened.
Time out. Something's missing here.
What are you doing?
I know what it is. I need my dance partner.
Thank you. Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about that. Did we get you?
Yes. I mean, you could tell. Even now, it's funny, no?
It is so funny. And can I just say, it really told me a lot about Casper/Bo/Bear, Jennifer's boyfriend, because, first of all, he had a lot of confidence. He wasn't afraid that you were going to be mad at him for doing something that you didn't even know about, because a lot of people don't like surprises, right?
Right.
And he was such a good sport.
He was. He's a lot of fun, and we get along well. We're not the arguing types, which is nice, because I've been there.
And can I tell you, he actually worked with me. I forgot everything once I got on that stage. But he
I've seen the footage of the two of you rehearsing now.
Right.
He showed me.
And can I tell you,
wow.
I was awful, and I consider myself a decent dancer, but what it taught me, what it taught me was, she's laughing at me. No, I mean decent. That I can move. I can get a little rhythm. But doing that kind of dancing is incredibly hard, because he and I worked together. I went home, I went on the computer, I tried to imitate you in that music video. It is really hard, and you make it look so easy.
Thank you.
I mean, I've always appreciated your talent, but it gave me even a greater appreciation of how tough that is to do. You've just completed a world tour.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Was it fun? Was it exhausting? Was it exhilarating?
No, it was awesome. It was all of those things, obviously. It was, in the beginning, very scary and daunting to think about going all around the world and with the babies and doing that whole thing was a little bit like, oh my God, can I do this? I had never done it before. Then once we were on the road, it was just kind of focused, and the babies were traveling well. There was no kind of like, oh my God, this is not working. It wasn't like that at all.
So cute.
Yeah.
I can always tell when there's pictures of babies on the screen.
This was the last show, and they bought me flowers, a little rose out. Max bought rose, and he was so funny. You know, we're doing a DVD movie of the entire experience of the tour, and so you'll probably see this moment on there. But he comes out and he brings me the rose, and it's, you know, everybody's going crazy, and he right away comes right into my arms. It's kind of overwhelming for her, but he kind of runs down the runway and looks at everybody. And he just freezes, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, Max, and when he looks and he stops, you know, the whole audience, you know, they go more crazy, you know, like that. And then I go, say goodbye to everybody, and he went, and everybody went crazy again.
Is he going to be the performer, you think?
I think he's intrigued by it. I don't know if he's going to be a performer.
I know they're almost 5 years old, right?
Yeah, they'll be 5 next month.
Which is so great.
I know, so fast.
I know that taking them on the road, I mean, you must have to be very disciplined, because you have to keep them in some kind of routine. But I thought it was interesting that you set their routine so they can actually come to your performance. Right. You sort of reset their body clocks in a way, right?
Well, that's the thing. It's like if they were on our schedule, it was actually worked better than them kind of getting up at 7 in the morning and then me having to work at nights. And it's like we would miss each other because I would have to sleep in and all that. So they wound up just coming to the shows, going to sleep, you know, probably a couple of hours before me, because it was hard for me to get to sleep after the shows. And then, you know, get up at a decent hour, and then we'd all get up around the same time.
I hear that they're asking more about your divorce, which is a tricky thing to talk about with children. How do you handle that?
You know, I feel like God gives me the words every time, because every time they do it, I kind of get just like a rush of panic through my body, like, oh my God, what do I say? You know, and you know, it just depends on what the question is. I actually just wrote a song about it, and just recorded it, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to explain to them without explaining to them, and the song is a beautiful song, but there was something inside of me that is struggling with that part of things. And you know, again, this is like a learning process, and even with Mark and I, we kind of, you know, I said, you know, we should do maybe things together sometimes, because one of the questions at Christmas was, okay, why aren't we, you know, spending Christmas with Daddy, me, you, and Emmy? Mass asked me, and he asked my cousin, who's their aunt, and you know, she's like, Jennifer! I was like, what? He says, Max has a question for you. I was like, yes, and when he asked me, I said, well, we can. I said, but when you go to see Daddy, that's your special time with Daddy, for you. He was like, well, why can't we do something together? I said, well, we can. I'll talk to Daddy about it.
Speaking of Christmas, I know that you're pretty active on Twitter. You've got a lot of followers, something like 14 million.
Yes.
Which is really annoying. Can I just say? And you tweeted a very cute picture of, I think, your dad at Christmas time.
Oh, my God, he's so cute.
Because you went home, right?
Yes, we were at my mom's house.
You went to the Bronx, and I think that's so nice. It's cute. So what did you have a good Christmas with your family?
It's funny, you know, we had, and not to be a downer, but we had a few deaths in the family a couple of years ago. So we've been finding our way back to Christmas after my grandma died. So this time we tried it at my mom's house. And it's funny because I say, you know, my grandmother loved to cook. Like, she cooked for 2 days before Christmas, and everybody came over, and the minute you walked in, she served you a plate, and this was the joy of her life. My mom, not so much the same. Do you know what I mean? So she's the grandma now, and I'm like, Mom, you gotta get your grandma on. You know what I mean? You gotta cook. And she's like, I hate to cook. And yeah, she's not, you know, which, by the way, she's totally entitled to. She had to cook every single day of her life while we were growing up. So I was like, well, maybe we'll do it at my house next year. I actually like to cook, and you know, so we're finding our ways.
Was it fun to be back in the Bronx? And did your kids get a kick out of it?
Yeah, we drove around, and I took pictures of like my old neighborhood, and I was like, I'm back in the Bronx, everybody. You know what I mean? I just have a good time being there, because it feels so much who I am.
And you also have speaking of family, you have a new addition to your family. A little bear, right?
Yeah,
Is that? I want to, okay.
Little baby.
Cute, or baby bear? Tell me about him. He's so cute.
We had been talking about getting a dog for a while when we were on tour. And the babies were asking for a dog, and I kept saying no.
Boxer? Is that a little boxer?
Yes, he's a boxer puppy. And I was just like, no, we travel too much. It's not going to be good. And and but the truth is, we don't have like tons of plans. We just traveled for 8 months, so it's not going to be something that we do again right away. So I was like, and you know, you cave in when everybody keeps asking.
Believe me, as someone who's...
I'm the bad guy. Okay, we can get a dog. You know, so
been there, done that.
Yeah, I always wanted a boxer anyway. Like, and so when that part came up, when Bo and I spoke about it, he was like, I want a boxer. I was like, I kind of always wanted a boxer. Okay,
I just love puppies.
Yeah.
Anyway, up next, what happened at the Golden Globes? More with Jennifer when we come back.
Up next.
At the Golden Globes. And we're back with Jennifer Lopez. I love that I can sort of follow what's going on in your life on Twitter. And I know you tweeted this photo of this huge rack of dresses before the Golden Globes. Wow. That's not your closet, right, Jennifer?
No.
These are just your choices for the Golden Globes?
Yes, yeah, my stylist bought over all these dresses.
Wow.
And it's funny, I was like, let's tweet this. This is crazy insane. Nobody's going to believe this. You know, I still don't believe it sometimes. I'm like, when did all this happen? This is crazy.
But it must have been so much fun and so much pressure, too, to pick out something to wear, because you're photographed by a million photographers. You're plastered all over the world in whatever you're wearing. Does that stress you out a little bit? It must.
No, I actually have a lot of fun with it.
I'm starting to get stressed thinking about it.
You know, it's funny. I was at Good Morning America, and there was all the photographers, you know, through the windows and stuff. And somebody asked me, they're like, doesn't that freak you out just a little bit? And I was like, it can if you let it. But I don't let it because I look at it as like love. I don't look at it as anything else, you know.
Aren't you worried that someone's going to take your picture and trash your dress? That's what I would worry about.
No.
I wish I had your confidence. It's fantastic.
I mean, yes, there's always that possibility. And trust me, I've been on, you know, the what is she doing? You know what I mean?
Who wore it better? Not her.
Yeah. She sucked. Yeah, no.
Let's take a look. I liked it. I hope everyone else did. I thought your dress was beautiful at the Golden Globes. Let's take a look at the dress you selected. I like that faux see-through.
Yeah.
Faux see-through effect where it looks like you're just wearing lace, but we know, of course, you've got a flesh-colored gown underneath. Tell us about that dress and why you picked it.
Well, Zuhair Murad is actually, he did all the costumes for my tour. I've been wearing his dresses for a few years now. It was funny, I was doing a private show in I don't know, in Russia somewhere, middle of the night, totally jet lag on Fashion TV, which is a channel they have in Europe. Where they just show runway shows, and there was this runway show, and I was like, who is this guy? These dresses are amazing. This is so different. It's so edgy, so new. And it was this guy, Zuhair Murad, and we started calling him and saying, send us dresses, and since then we've been working together, and you know, this is very much his style. If you saw the tour costumes as well. It kind of has a similar feel, this particular dress. I don't know. He sent a few over. The black one I wore afterwards was also his, which is a very different style. And,
do you have to actually wear something there, and then you have to change for the after parties?
You don't have to, but this dress for me was just like, tight.
Yeah.
I like to be more relaxed afterwards in the party, so with this one, the other one was kind of like backless and loose on the bottom, and it was actually more fun to dance with. I was, you know, doing my whole thing, having a little bit of fun, mommy's night out, you know, so.
At the Golden Globes themselves. And by the way, we should say that Beau looked pretty smoking in his white ensemble as well.
Nice.
Black and white is very big this year. So
is it?
Yes,
we were so on trend.
Yeah, we're so trendy. But you at the Golden Globes themselves, you ran into a few old friends.
Oh, God. You have to bring this up.
Oh, come on. Let me ask you about it, because I thought about it for you as I was watching the Golden Globes at home in my pajamas, and you were looking so nice. But you ran into P. Diddy at the Golden Globes. We have that, an old flame. Also, Ben Affleck. When you saw that you were going to be in their space, were you like, awkward?
No, I know I'm saying no to everything, but that's how I feel today.
Well, that's good. I think you should be honest. I mean, so
the answer is
were you
no,
a little
because
bit like,
no, because we run in the same circles. I do see them. You know, probably the world doesn't know that I see them. I don't know. Hey, I just ran into Diddy today. I don't tweet that kind of stuff, but I do run into them. You know, every so often.
So was it? I mean,
so this was not a big like, oh my God, you know.
Even for Ben and you?
No. We talk and, you know, we email, more email than anything.
So you guys are on really good terms and all that. And were you happy for him? I was happy because I happen to love Argo.
I was so happy for him. You know, like I said, and I've said this before, you know, we had such a hard time impressing the movies, and they were like, oh, this is their careers, this and that. And to look at myself and to look at him now and to have him, he's won Best Picture at the Golden Globes, that he directed the movie. It's like, yes, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for you. This is a great thing. So, yeah, I gave him a standing ovation and felt really, I don't know, kind of like, wow, good.
I think it was special, too, because he really got snubbed by the Oscars. He didn't even get nominated.
He got nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, too.
But not nominated for Best Director, and a lot of people thought that should have happened.
You win some, you lose some. I think he's okay.
Yeah.
He won the Film Critics, Best Director, Best Actor. He won at the Globes that night. He's nominated for Best Picture. He's nominated for an Oscar for one of the Best Pictures of the year. That he directed and starred in. It's okay. It's okay. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, before we go to break, I just want to ask you about American Idol. Have you been watching it? Do you miss it?
I do miss doing the show. I had such a good time doing it. It was no secret. I've said it a million times.
Meanwhile, it's probably nice to be away from all the drama. Because there's a lot of drama, I understand, on
I
that
haven't
show.
seen the first 2 episodes. It started last week. I'm kind of glad I didn't see it because everybody's asking me about it. So I can honestly say I haven't seen it. But I do miss it. I do miss it. I liked it a lot. And, you know, I wish them the best always.